So we're going to look at this beautiful pattern here, which is comprised of this gemstone shape, like this, surrounded by 4 of these 4-pointed stars that are mirror images of each other. And then when we do the tessellation, we actually get shapes that are in the negative space that actually are very similar, or the same shapes that we get sort of for free. So we're going to set up a grid, and then we're going to draw the pattern on top of the grid, and then we'll have the whole pattern. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to start with a line that goes across our paper. Now I'm using a 9x12, but whatever size paper you have is fine, and I'm going to estimate the center, but you can actually measure if you like. And then just mark the center here. And then we will open our compass. For me, it's about 8 centimeters, or you can open it basically like most of the page, but leave maybe like 1 centimeter or 2 centimeters on either side, and we'll draw our first circle by placing the point of the compass on that center point and then drawing a circle. And I'll just zoom out a little bit so we see the full thing. And then we're going to place the point of our compass where the line and the circle intersect on the right. And we could draw a full arc, but we actually don't need the full arc. We just need a partial arc. So just draw an arc that touches the circle and then goes sort of towards the edge of the page. It doesn't have to go exactly to the edge, above and below. And then the same thing on the right and then on the left. So again, if you drew the full arc, it's okay, but we just want to keep it a little bit neater, so we're not going to do that. Just like that. So we're setting up our grid first. And then we're going to place the point of the compass where the arc and the circle intersect, because we want to get the bisector, or the perpendicular or vertical line. And then we're just going to draw an arc above by placing the point of the compass at that intersection point, and then just getting something to cross, getting it to cross. If you have to adjust your compass, just adjust it and then readjust. But if you have enough space, then no need to adjust your compass. And then once you have your arc below, above, and then the center is here, we're going to draw a line, a vertical line through those 3 points. Just like that, okay? And then with our compass, open the same amount, so the same as the initial radius there. We're going to place the point of the compass where that line and the circle intersect, and we're just going to complete these petals. So think about these as like a partial petal. And we're just going to do that above and below. Place the point of the compass where the circle and the line intersect, and then complete the petal. Okay, and then we're done with the compass work now. So now what we want to do is we're drawing a quadrant. So like each section is going to be a quadrant. So let's just encompass our work here by connecting the tips of our petals. Okay. And let's draw the diagonal lines through the tips of the petals diagonally and the center. Okay, and then let's draw a dynamic square connecting the very top with the left, the right, and the bottom. Okay, and then this, if we think about this as a quadrant, each one, let's connect the center of the quadrant vertically and horizontally. Okay, so now let's zoom in on one quadrant and work on that, and then you can just repeat the same thing 4 times to get the full tessellation. Tessellation means like repetition of the pattern. So now I'm at the top left quadrant, so this is what I'm going to be working in, and basically You're going to repeat what I do now 4 times. So I'll switch colors just to make it more visual. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to connect like with V shapes. So we're going to connect the very bottom with the top left, the top right in a V shape. And then we're going to do the same thing, but from the very top to the very bottom right and the bottom left. So again, like an upside down V. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing on the side. So the very side with the very top right and the top left and the bottom left. And we're going to work in symmetry, and we do the same thing with the left, top right, bottom right. Okay, and then we're going to draw a dynamic square. So we're going to connect 1, 2, 3, 4 back to 1. So a dynamic square. Okay, and then we're going to draw 2 sets of parallel lines vertically and then horizontally. So this is the point and the bottom. So we're going to connect these 2 points, 1, 2, and the equivalent on the other side. So it's this one and this one. Okay, so it's 1, 2 with 1, 2, and we're going to go, that's vertically, and now we're going to go horizontally with the same points. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing over here. So this point and this point vertical, this point and this point vertical, and horizontal. And now we have all the lines that we need, and now we can start picking out our final shapes. So let's get this middle shape over here. So this middle shape is the line above and below. Let's highlight that. So now you can press hard or use ink or a marker, whatever you prefer, because these are the final lines. And then it's not this point, but it's the very next intersection. So it's this point here. And then the same thing on the right. So we bring it to the next intersection here. Just like that. And then there are these stars that are around it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can use the boxes that we drew to get those stars. So essentially what we're going to do, let's start with the left here. So this is a piece of the star is like connected to this interior shape. And then we're going to cut the next box in half and go straight across. And then cut the next box in half and go straight down. And then cut this one in half. And it's connected to the interior shape here. And then the next star is the mirror image. So we just do the same thing, cut it in half. Go up, cut it in half, go across, cut it in half, go down. And now we have those 2 stars, and the bottom is the exact same thing. It's the mirror image. So we're going to go down, cut it in half, go across, and then cut it in half. Go up, and then cut it in half. And there we have the 3rd star, and then the 4th one is the mirror image. So cut it in half, go down, cut it in half, go across, cut it in half, go up. And then you're done. So you're just going to repeat that exact same thing in the subsequent or the remaining 3 quadrants. And then you'll notice you have this star or this shape in the middle, and then you have half of that shape above, half of it below, half of it on the side, and then a quarter of it in each corner. And then when you tessellate, you'll get like, you know, a full shape in the center. So it's basically like just alternating orientations of these beautiful shapes. You can color it and make it, you know, make it look 3D. You can do a lot to make it beautiful. But essentially that is how you do this beautiful 4-fold pattern. So the grid, the pattern, repeat 4 times, color, and you're done.